Yeah, I want to talk about the difference living in a G7 country in comparison to living in a third world country like Ecuador. We have these massive power outages here, but you have to work around them. It's very frustrating, but there's another addition to that. It's this, we're a little bit more free here. The law is like cowboy law. It's everyone does what they want to do. Yeah, I want to compare life here in Ecuador, probably many other South American or, Asian countries where you're living in a third world country. You come from the experience of a G7 country. You pay immense property taxes. You pay, personal taxes beyond anything you can imagine. And the return just isn't there anymore. People that are paying $12,800 in property taxes, they have no garbage collection. They have a street light that has been burnt out for 6 months. This is in a G7 country, and you have to complain for them to replace the light bulb. So there's this real battle of where to live, this real choice of where do you live. You've got this cowboy law system here in Ecuador where your head is spinning, people driving illegal vehicles, you go file a lawsuit against somebody, it is a disaster. The system doesn't even have any way of accommodating justice. So what is the right answer if you're going to try to live somewhere else? What is the right answer? Well, the main answer is what type of built-in tolerance do you have as a human being? Can you survive absolute nonsense? Can you get past that? That something is not even logical in a country that you move to? Can you survive the hatred towards gringos, to extranjeros, whatever you want to call people that move into a new country? Can you survive that? Can you keep yourself busy? Do you have enough money to survive a new country? Do the regulations allow you to do many things you couldn't do in your own country? Does the law allow you to be almost an outlaw in a country that you don't belong? These are the things that are going on here in Ecuador, is this incredible craziness of this country, which is attractive and unattractive. How do you survive that as a human being? Do you have visors on so you don't see it? Do you just keep to yourself? Do you keep your head to the ground? Do you keep your project in mind? Do you keep your objectives in mind and forget about the craziness of a country? Yeah, I think that's the only way to survive the madness. Do you look at the benefits? I have absolute clean mountain spring water. I can grow anything I want. I don't have electricity, reliable electricity right now. Can I survive that? Not really, but you do it, you survive it. So there's all these things that go on in a world where you don't belong. Do you make yourself belong somewhere that you are a missing link or a foreign connection? Yeah, you try your best to accommodate. You need to learn the language. You need to learn the habits. You need to ignore the craziness. You need to be acceptable of absolute ridiculous behavior on part of your neighbors and aggression and all these things. You need to learn how to be tolerant with that. That is not for everybody. I lived in Germany. I had to leave because it was too organized, too strict, too predictable, too everything. And Canada was a little bit better. I've worked in many places. There's always a variation on life. And that variation on life probably is the most interesting thing you can come across when you move to a new place. Is it enjoyable? No. But can you make it acceptable? You have no choice if you're trying to live somewhere else. So tolerance is a learned behavior. Accepting madness is a learned behavior. Living under the radar, maybe, is the way to describe it. Not being aggressive, not being always angry about the things that are going on around you. It is tough. We've had people do stuff to us that you can't even fathom that they would do something like that, but they do. And how do you get past all that? The only way is, it's very simple for me, and I've learned this throughout my whole life. You have good people, you have people that will help you, that you have people that will give you their shirts off their back, and then you have these people that want to steal from you. They lie to you constantly. They do things that you just can't even believe that somebody would do that. So you cut those people out of your life. You don't deal with them. You don't talk to them. You have no choice. They will continue to do the same behavior against you, and you have to cut the losses. You cannot deal with these type of people. Ecuador has so many people that are incredibly beautiful people, but they also have these people that will block your road, that will fight you tooth and nail, that you're not allowed to do anything. They don't want you to progress. They are so jealous that they will cut down trees so you have a bad view. They will come and complain to you about how you are progressing and they don't like it, and how all these things are going on in your life that is moving you forward while they're staying in reverse. And it drives people crazy. And how do you deal with these people? You can't. There's no way to deal with this. You have to just walk away from them. So what is the big difference now between G7 countries and third world countries? I think affordability is number one. You can kind of get things done that you couldn't get in the G7 countries. Building permits have become so ridiculous in the G7. Property taxes, income taxes, all those things are just making it almost impossible to live in these great countries. Healthcare is a disaster in many countries. Even in Canada, you have such a long waiting list for anything. So if you come to a country like this, where you kind of create yourself a bubble, and that bubble supports your life, it supports your hobbies, it supports your endeavors, it allows you to be creative, it allows you to be productive, then maybe that is the best option, is to leave an expensive, overrated country that has no services anymore, that is taxing people to death. You go to the grocery store, 2 bags of grocery cost you $200, and your salaries don't follow. They don't compare to what everything costs. The inflation rates are just killing everybody. So maybe a third world country is the answer. But I'm telling you, before you even think of that, take a thermometer and measure your tolerance levels. Because if you ain't a tolerant human being, don't even try it. You have to be beyond tolerant to survive a place like Ecuador. You have to accept that there's craziness around every corner, that there are people that are out to get you, that there are people that are so angry with themselves that they project that anger onto you. They have this mentality that they want to stay in reverse. They want to keep the roads from being built. They want to keep everything from progress. And these people exist. They're mixed in between the good people that want to see a road coming up to their little community, that want progress, that want to open a restaurant so they can serve people that are going to the waterfalls. There are all kinds of different people that you encounter in your life. And you have to be very cautious, again, and I will stress this. If they have done something bad to you, if they have stolen from you, if they have done stupidness towards you, ignore them, cut them out of your life. Just surround yourself with people that are great, people that are enjoyable to have around you. And any country, if you show that incredible sense of tolerance, you can move anywhere in the world. Pick the right place. Judge yourself if you're capable of such incredible tolerance. If you're not, forget it. Stay where you are. Because tolerance is really in high demand when you move to a third world country. So just remember yourself. You. Can you handle it? Are you tolerant? Are you that type of person that can say, okay, I gotta, put the blinders on and let this pass me. Can you do it? If you can, then maybe third world countries, if you pick the right spot, if you pick the right building lot, if you pick the right location, if you have all these things that make you happy in terms of owning something, then yeah, a place like Ecuador probably is a great place for you to move to.